Hi friends, this is Lori from Stamp Sunshine on Facebook, and today I'm going to demonstrate how I made this beautiful card that I cased from Beth's Paper Cuts. I changed it up a little bit in that she did a water wash with Sahara sand on the background, and I decided that I didn't want to do that. It's beautiful with the shimmery white paper without that water wash, and so I like to demonstrate how I made that card. I used the Positive Thoughts stamp set for this. It is a stamp set from Stampin' Up! That coordinates with the Nature's Thoughts dies, and there's a lot of amazing dies in this set to cut out the butterflies, the flowers, there's a feather, and a lot of other cool elements with this stamp set. So that is the stamp set that I used on this beautiful card. The elements that you'll need if you want to make this card are Petal Pink cardstock from Stampin' Up! Is the company I use. This shimmery white layer is called shimmery white paper. It's sometimes overlooked in the catalog. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's really worth it. It makes a really special card. I don't know if you'll be able to see the shimmer, but it's really a really neat effect on all of these elements. I used it to punch out the die cuts as well. So besides the shimmery white and the petal pink, you'll also need some metallic edge ribbon. This is a petal pink. The inks I used were Pear Pizzazz, petal pink, and then I did a little bit of definition on the edge of the flower with Calypso Coral. I used a saddle brown StazOn ink for the butterfly, and then I colored the blends with petal pink and Calypso Coral as well. And then of course I used gold embossing powder. Now the gold embossing was the first thing I did on this card. I lined it up on my Stamparatus because I like to get my sentiments really straight when they are on the front of the card, of course. And the next thing I did was just stamp this branch full strength in Pear Pizzazz. Then I slightly turned my stamp and I stamped it off the second time to make a lighter color ink. In the same way, I stamped down here for the flower on the bottom with petal pink, but I stamped it the second time using a sponge dauber with Calypso Coral just around the edge of the flower to give it this additional pop of color just in a few little spots. All right, so let's go ahead and put together this card. The first thing I do is I'm going to find where I want to put my ribbon on the front of the card, and I'm just going to put it partway between the sentiment and the bottom of the card base. And so I'm just going to adhere that. You can use any thing that you like, either glue or glue dots. And just get that stuck down first thing. Okay. Then I want to make sure it's straight. Guess I should have done a little bit better job with that. Okay. Bring that down just a hair. All right. And then I'm going to adhere that to the front of my card. Give it another try, Lori. All right, adhere that to the front of my card. Keeping it real. All right, and then I'm going to use dimensionals. Stampin' Up! Catalog sells those to put our branch on, and this is just to give it that dimension. You're just going to to put them along the back. As many as you think. I like the mini ones because you know they're going to fit everywhere, and you need to make sure that this is adhered and it's not going to fall apart on you. I like cards that have a lot of layers on them and a lot of dimension, and I like sweet florally cards like this, especially if I'm going to be sending it to a friend for her birthday or something. This actually is a birthday card. All right, the next thing I want to add is this flower. I'm also going to pop that up using dimensionals. Stampin' Up! Started selling black dimensionals, so if you love using black cardstock, you will be able to use black dimensionals on that, and it won't show from the side. If you turn the card, you won't see a white dimensional. So I think I'm going to put that right about here. Pop that up. Okay, and then the last thing, a little bit of dimension that I want to add to this is going to be the butterfly. I hadn't bought the brown Stays On ink, the saddle brown, before, and I bought it just for this project, and I really like the fact that I can color on this with blends, and it's not a stark black that you usually have to use, the Memento ink. All right, so far so good. Okay, the last step is going to be to tie my ribbon for the top. Now the reason that I cut this additional 8-inch piece of ribbon is because sometimes when you're tying a bow around your card like this, and then you just wrap it around and tie it into a bow, it's really hard to get your bow going in the direction, oopsie, that you want it to go in. And so what I like to do is just tie the bow separately and then put it on with a glue dot. And then I can get my bow exactly where I want it, and I can send these sides on the ribbon exactly in the right direction. So I'll show you what I mean. So I think that I want that little guy to live right about here. And then I'm just going to take my snips and I'm going to trim the edges here. Okay. And there you have it. We have our sentiment in saddle brown on the inside. And I'm just going to give that one more crease with my bone folder. I hope you like the card today, friends. I'd just like to point out that there's a die cut in this set that creates this little flower center, and the flower center pops up in a whole bunch of little areas, so that if you wanted to, you could add even more dimension to the front of this card by putting that flower center on that. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you like my project, and if you'd like to place an order with me, please go to lorimagnuson.stampinup.net or go to Stamp Sunshine on Facebook. Thanks, friends. Have a great day.